Hastro World, we back. Hastro
I see
Bros
your hands
back,
right.
peoples. Hastro Bros back, family. Are you ready, though? I hear on punching bag, jab, snap, uppercut, right hook. Yeah, you ready? Ready to get into it. Peoples, one day away from the NBA season to start. Season starting tomorrow night. So I hope you guys locked in and you guys ready to get talking about the NBA. This is going to be our second stream just before. So this is our last preseason stream before we dive right into the thick of things in the NBA season. Fellas, how we doing, man? How was the week?
The week was fantastic as normal. Just having fun, new challenges at work, new challenges in the gym, eating as much food as I can. I live for food,
Challenges. I
and
like it.
that's about it. That's
PBs?
really about it. Not PBs
PBs or
there.
PBJs?
We get in there. We get in there. This is I normally PB every 4 to 6 months.
Every quarter.
I building up for the PB.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. This is what squats. This is bench press.
Squats, deadlifts, and bench. I normally hit more PBs in the squats and the deadlifts compared to the bench press. But
yeah.
definitely
Man's a
into
tank,
that thing.
boy, Rayvon. Man's a tank. How you doing, though, Star? How was the week?
I doing good, man. I ain't really that much of a star. I had sports there at work.
Really?
my host get demolished kind of last, sadly, but nonetheless, I'm still here alive. It has some people coming work today, boasting and showing off from the host that win. But it was fun nonetheless. Glad to see the camaraderie, across the workplace and stuff. So it was quite fun, I would say. But outside of that, I had a pretty chill week. Not gonna lie, pretty chill week. Excited to get into the NBA talk as usual. You know how it is. Excited for the start of the season. You ready to go for tomorrow?
Yep.
First games out the back. We got some predictions to make. So excited to talk to you guys and predict against each other yet again for another season. Ready to come and claim that throne. That throne.
I don't know, boy. It's pretty much set right now. But peoples, just a few shout outs to start. Well, actually, before we get into that, already, before you do anything, you gotta hit that like button if you're in the stream. Do appreciate it very much. Do appreciate you. So thank you for doing that. If you're in the stream, don't forget to do it. Also, if you find that this conversation and these streams and these podcasts or whatever you want to call them are, kind of intriguing and entertaining, share it with somebody that you think likes to talk about basketball or just casual fans, whatever level they're at in sports. Hey, hit them up. Let them know the Hastro Bros here. And we do appreciate that support for sure. Let me dive into some of these quick highlights over the last couple of days. WNBA champs, New York Liberty.
Yeah. Just shout out to the champs, man. Yeah, just congrats to them. Not really a big WNBA fan, not gonna lie. Not particularly interested. Not gonna lie with that either.
But, it's always good to just acknowledge, acknowledge champions
acknowledge.
and
give
them the flowers when they do well.
All people, all teams, regardless of sport, make their sacrifices, have their goals, and achieving the ultimate goal and whatever you do is always a moment to celebrate. So again, shout out to the New York Liberty for reaching that goal, and I'm pretty sure they're having a blast.
Hey,
shout out to Sabrina as well too.
Yeah, Sabrina, she was really clutch in that series. I guess he couldn't ask for anything better. Pretty much I would call her the Steph Curry of the WNBA. And she really kind of lived up to it.
It's true.
So shout out to them. Also, we got some news on the other side of the spectrum, some injuries coming into the season. Khris Middleton out, injury. Also, Kawhi is out. Tough break for these two guys. Thoughts on what that means for their team, maybe? I know Kawhi's been
I think obviously we know Clippers right now are they're probably going to be have a extremely difficult season. Paul George gone, Russell's gone, Kawhi is now out, which seems he's out every year. But to be out at the beginning of the season again indefinitely is like and then leaving poor James Harden to clean up, to try to clean up, do the dishes. There is some what we call Potter. If you're from
Man,
Barbados,
you talking about cleaning up.
they in trouble.
James Harden no got a sturdy pot, fam. He ever get to cleaning up, so he no got
Then
cook.
he
All
know
sorts
got
of
cook.
things.
And I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I think his chef days are behind him too.
It's
So
true.
no more
You're
cooking.
asking a lot.
Yeah.
hey, we'll see. I mean
Let me
that's motivating, right?
let me give you guys a stat about Kawhi. In the last 5 years, Kawhi has missed on average 25 games per season, not including the one season that he didn't play for the whole regular season. So since he's been at the Clippers, he's missed on average 25 games. The last time Kawhi played a full playoff run was in the bubble. In the bubble was the last time the man played a full playoff.
That's like what 5 years ago, 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
that's
Almost about
2020, about
4 years
4 years
ago.
ago. Before.
That's
4 years.
crazy.
So the Clippers are in a terrible situation, in my opinion. They spent a lot of
Clippers
money
being
on
split,
Kawhi and
boy.
Paul George. They
Yep.
lost Paul George this offseason in free agency. They got Kawhi out to start, and he pretty much is the catalyst for their success going forward. I know James Harden is going to be there. I don't think he's going to turn back the hands of time and go to Houston Rockets, James Harden, which the Clippers would need for them to be good in the West. So it's going to be a tough season, as like you said, for the Clippers.
And the two things
Hey,
I must add
anything can
there too.
happen.
I not with this team. I feel like I kind of feel sorry for James Harden because he's one player I feel as if he's been chasing rings. He did it in Houston. Then since then, he decided to join every team to essentially form a super team, and he's had terrible luck. I mean,
Jason ring pops.
I guess so because it's just been unfortunate. The same comes to this team, and now the superstars leaving or injured. It's like he must feel like he can't win. Like he really has little chance. I mean, obviously it's still a whole new season, and he could easily get traded. I could see it. That's being James Harden's nature. But if he stays at the Clippers, they might honestly end up being they can't be a lottery pick because they're not gonna be that bad. But they're probably I see them around 10th, 12th in our region to be honest. So it's looking bleak. And also to mention quickly, Paul George, he's also injured as well. He got injured, I think
Yep,
it was last week.
in the
As soon as our
preseason.
stream finished last week Monday, I saw an
Yeah,
injury report
yeah,
come out.
It's-
And I'm like, look at this
yeah,
guy. Look at this guy. It seems to be talking about
yeah.
so
We
you know
just talk
NBA,
about.
knock on wood,
Mhm.
his day coming up soon just now. So he's seriously in trouble too, probably. So these guys have no luck. I don't know if it's nutritionist, but these guys have no luck. And I'll leave it there.
It's definitely bad luck. What about Chris Middleton though? I don't think is a big shot to the Celtics, like it would be for other teams
You mean
like
to the
Seven
Bucks.
Six. But
Bucks,
sorry,
Bucks,
bucks.
Bucks.
Bucks. Yes. Well, actually, take that back. Like Hakim last week, that is a good shot to the Bucks because he's one of those players that they can or that they usually count on when they need him. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Does anyone know? Like, is it
Yeah.
indefinite or is it?
It is not indefinite, but he's going to miss his start of the NBA season was the phrase in use. The phrase in being used across the NBA now is just so random. I don't really know what it is, but
Yeah,
I can't really tell. I would say maybe next couple of weeks, if it was to assume,
That could be
or
even two
give
months.
the start of the
two
NBA season.
2 months. That's
Nah,
all the
that's a
way
stretch.
into
Yeah,
yeah.
that's 20 plus
That's
games there already.
yeah, and that's close to the in season tournament. So
Hmm.
I don't know if start of the season includes all of that. So
I mean, I feel like the Bucks. I feel like the Bucks are in there. are not going to be in a terrible position. I feel like they're accustomed to
Me
this now. I feel
neither.
like Chris Middleton he's injured like every other season. He gets an injury, which
But he
seems
missed a
like
lot last year. He missed
he
a
did. I
lot
thought it was a
last year,
year.
and
I thought it
they
was a year before.
probably then as well. But he
There was a
missed a
season he
lot
was out
last
for
year.
almost. Okay, so
Yeah,
he's missing
yeah,
games. So I mean, they're accustomed playing without him. Obviously, they have DM. DM is supposed to help Giannis carry the mantle. So I mean, those two players, I think they should be able to survive and get through. Then this is nothing new to them. But if either DM or Giannis were to now get injured, in addition
yeah. That's different.
to Chris Middleton, I think that's a huge problem, and that's when the Bucks should definitely be worried. So I think they'll weather
Yeah,
the storm. They come out of the East for sure. Well, yeah, they should make the playoffs. So
yeah,
I think they should be good. They should be okay.
yeah. They
If
got
Chris
Bobby
Miller come
Portis,
back soon.
but I
Yeah.
don't think
Nah,
I don't
even for
think
him,
missing Chris Middleton. Yeah,
even
I
for
don't
him,
think
I,
Chris.
I still think
Yeah,
I still think they have a good chance.
I think Chris Middleton is a ceiling raiser in this case. You have your floor is Giannis. You gotta remember that Giannis
Mhm.
is still an MVP caliber player at the end of the day, so he could
Yeah.
carry that team pretty far with him alone. You also got Dame, so I don't think it's going to be as big a deal. Let's say compared for the Clippers with Kawhi being out. So the Bucks should be fine.
Fine with a little regression, but I digress. I don't think that it's going to be as easy as you guys think it might be. But we just want to get into meeting matter today and start talking NBA award predictions. Now, first of all, let's do a slight recap of some of our predictions that we had last year. Um, at
But
in
which
in
predictions?
regular season.
Which predictions
I
we made
mean,
last year?
no, like ours, like our whole prediction thing, like just to mention that, and just to give the viewers a little insight as to who they should root for. I guess when it comes to these predictions between the two of us, you know what I mean.
Come
So
on.
last year in the regular season, yours truly like trumped the field, and I had the most predictions throughout the regular season. But with that said, also came last in the postseason in predictions. So
So I mean, it's basically
do with
telling me
that
that
information what
you
you
did,
will.
you did, so you were number one seed during the regular season. When it came to the
The
championship,
thing that matters the most.
you, you, you came up short. Okay, I understand. Okay, I see what
Timberwolves, atypical.
I see what it is.
Timberwolves.
Wait. How Timber was catching strays at this point? I don't understand. We're going on.
Because they were really good in regular season, and
And
then
they were
in the
good. And they were good in the
Oh, dude,
postseason
what
too.
you talking about?
in
They
the
made the conference
postseason,
finals.
they
Ask
squandered the
KD.
bike.
Ask
They,
KD how good it was. Ask
they
Jokic how good it
squandered the
was.
bike in the postseason.
They
They
make it to the
squandered the
Western
bike.
Conference winners. Are
And
you talking about this quantity by?
they
Come
squandered the
on,
bike.
B.
Them should have been in the
Come on.
finals. Them should have been in the
Come on.
finals. That's all I say.
I can't let my team be catching strays like that.
Hey,
Nah.
hey, they should be in the finals. That's all I say.
You're looking at Star War.
I ain't understand. Timberwolves
Um,
played phenomenal last season.
hey,
Talk about the Clippers if you want to talk about dropping the bike.
Clippers for
But
sure.
Talk about the
that's
Clippers. But that's nothing. Talk with the Clippers.
I digress. And anyways, so when it comes to Ray's predictions, now Ray, I would say he's fairly decent. He's steady. You can't really go,
He's consistent.
right or wrong with Ray. Well, it's like iffy. It's like borderline. You might win or you might not. So I wouldn't really put all my trust in Ray one. He did well though.
I
He
want
was
to
close.
trust another one. I will pick my own picks. Pick my own picks.
he did decent. No, when it comes to Hakeem, um,
I'm a wild card.
I won't say so because he always choosing Lakers, and if you can go with a man, I always choosing Lakers
I said, oh,
to come up with a win.
if I'm
It's
not
a-
mistaken, I still beat
it's
you.
cloudy
So
day.
I mean, something got to be going right. So I don't know. I ain't not getting enough credit here.
Hey, Hakeem. So Hakeem came second in the postseason.
which is when it
predictions.
matters. When it matters.
Yeah, but that's second though.
Not
Like
too far behind Ravon.
I digress. I'm not even getting that. Um, and Ray came. I would well Ray trumped all of us in the postseason when it really mattered. I would say um, when points were up for grabs. See, like that second round, that will always haunt me. That second round, Ravon got all the points, and I don't think myself or Hakeem was able to capitalize much on that. But do with that what you will, peoples. We can now talk about the predictions for the NBA awards. Um, this is an exciting topic because last year we had some big debates about who would get Rookie of the Year, especially from the beginning of the season. They had these two big powerhouse names, Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama. So that discussion went on throughout, and we had some change of hearts and stuff like that. So it was good fun talking about that. We also always have a heated debate about who would be MVP. You got some big names that we can talk about in the NBA, and everybody got their own personal MVP. And then when it comes to coming to your senses, then people got a more realistic MVP. Sometimes you might not want to talk about it, but it is what it is. But yeah, let me dive into this and see kind of what we come up with, and we would like to hear your predictions as well in the chat. So keep that chat room live, peoples. Let me talk about the MVP first. I want to start with Hakeem. Hakeem, who do you think would be a good candidate for the MVP for this NBA season? A lot of
For
big names
me,
out there. A lot of things happened last year. Give it to me. Let me know.
all right. So, in my opinion, there are a lot of big names. We know about Jokic, about Giannis, about LeBron. We know about, there are a lot of players. I just sneaked in LeBron there. But on a serious note, on a serious note, I believe it's a team that's going to catapult to victory this year. The team that almost tasted it last year. The team with the
That scoring
superstar.
the bag,
The team,
or there's
the
a different
team,
team.
the team that has the time to shine. No players have been removed. That traded, they can now shine it brighter than ever. I'm going with the Ant Man, legendary, the
Woo!
legend to be making Ant Man. To me, Ant Man is going to be the MVP for me.
Woo!
I think his team is going to take that leap. Now we've traded away
No,
Cap.
no, we. Oh my
Speaking French,
god.
speaking French, we. It's still Paris, right? It's still trying to get acquainted with things. So,
Manova,
so you remember
you
Olympic
holding
shirt,
no? I
right?
didn't know you on the holder. Say,
No, me French. So know that
It got
the
before moon.
no, it was full moon the other day actually. Funny enough, but
yeah, it
know
was really
that
nice. It was very nice.
yeah, it was huge. It was magnificent. Know that Carl Towns has been traded away. I think it's not gonna allow man to flourish and really thrive with that dominant force. They have Julius Randle now. They have DiVincenzo. Uh, I think it's now his time to shine. So for me, it's man. It's gonna be voters fatigue a bit too with Giannis and Jokic all the time. I think man is not gonna go crazy, especially if you watch that documentary Starting Five. Is Ant-Man's time to shine. He's a new man in the making. LeBron is going to. I can't say hand him over the throne. LeBron is going to teach him the ropes. So in 2 years' time, he probably be the face of the league. That's what we go into. But for now, I think Ant-Man's going to take that leap and become the MVP. I said it first. Here on Hastro Bros.
MVP of Timberwolves. I agree. Ravon, coming to you.
I am a Timberwolves fan. I love Ant Man, but sorry to say Ant will be MVP this year. Sorry to say it. I
Shall
was
see.
I was on that train last year. I was on that train last year because
Heavy.
I felt like he would have taken the jump. But I feel like Anthony Edwards still has a lot of room to grow in his game. I think he will take another step. But Anthony Edwards' stats have been very incremental from a year to year. So I don't think this will be the year. My pick for MVP this year, which I could say for most of the other years past, I would have hoped it would have been true. My pick for MVP this year is Luka Doncic. Here's why.
Let's go.
Luka Doncic.
Let's go.
Luka Doncic has my well. Actually, let me just say my prediction for Luka for this season. I think that this season Luka will average a triple double on this season. They heard it here first on Hastrobros. Luka
That's
Doncic
crazy.
will average a triple double, and it's not that crazy. How much he averaged last
Wait,
year?
in
32,
wait,
9
triple
and 9
double in
on the
what?
season.
No, yes, on the season, but in what aspects? Passing for sure, points, and then you
Points
saying
and rebounds.
rebounds?
Luka averaged 32 points. I might be wrong on the 32, but somewhere around 30 plus points, 9 plus rebounds, and 9 plus assists last season. Almost a triple double. I think he's going to take his production to the next level this year and average a triple double. And it's going to be hard for someone to beat that in terms of winning MVP. Dallas Mavericks are also going to have a good seed this season. I don't see them regressing unless obviously injuries is always a factor, but we are assuming relative health. I have Luka for the MVP, and he does have the best odds according to FanDuel on the season. He's plus 330 betting odds from FanDuel. So
Means you're making no money
I
if
think.
you bet. And look at
What do you mean making $330? What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure.
$330.
I'm pretty sure I might have to be lower, and I'm at 850. Yeah.
But
Plus
Wait,
he's in the
right
top.
this
He's in
this
top-
uh,
he's in
this
the
this
top
always
10,
come
though.
It's top five.
this betting thing always confused me. So you're saying that you got to like on every dollar or every $100 you would get plus 380 or whatever.
Yeah, plus 330 in Luca's case. So if he wins it and you bet $100, you get $330.
Got you.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other way around. That's why. Because I
Well,
was thinking
the
that
other way
he's
around it'll be
favorite to be.
minus 330. But yeah, some favorites do have minus. So is they probably such a foregone conclusion that this person might win an award that is going to be minus. So you lose money betting on them.
Yeah.
Got you. Cool. I think
But it's less profitable
those
betting
are-
on it.
I think those are decent picks for various reasons. I can go on a limb. And I will choose. This is a hope. I would like to see Sabonis go up another level, and with the acquisition of DeMar DeRozan for the Kings, I think they got stronger. I think they'll find their footing this season.
This
And
man even made the All Star team last year. Huh? Like, get this-
I know he
take the fans
didn't,
of what- take the
but-
fans of what MVP for some.
wait. I know he didn't, but he should have though, right?
That's the point. MVP is also like,
Yes,
favorite
there's
section.
heavyweight from the
If the
votes.
fans
of the
don't like
fans.
this man, the coaches don't believe this man should be All Star, in terms of actually voting for him to be All Star, he's
Hey.
not getting MVP. They will give it to
Hey.
DeMar first.
Maybe fans
Maybe
fans were woken up last year, and maybe fans are now on the Sabonis plane. I don't know,
It's only like Mike Brown talking to you though. We must be talking to you.
bro.
I don't know. I know
Listen.
Hansel a couple of years ago was rapping that purple and gray.
Hey.
And they like it get to your hair, boy. It
No,
like it
no,
get to your hair.
but you see how the purple treat me last time, right? Not too bad. So hey, I can go with my boy Sabonis. I hope that he could because if he reached another level, I know he would be rivaling Luka for that triple double average over the season. I think, like I said, DeMar DeRozan is a good piece for Kings. That is a solid setup for them right now, and like I said, it's out on a limb, and I know the weight of the fans has to play into this as well, but hopefully people could see. And I watch basketball a little bit more than just on a low level fan base, and I vote for people that
Fam,
actually deserve MVP.
that is I still think that's a pipe dream, bro. What's the bonus odds on the season? I'm pretty sure it gotta be really low. But that's a stretch.
He's normally top six.
Not to
He's
me.
not he's plus 25,000. So if you
Anthony
bet
Davis,
$100 on
Anthony
some
Davis,
bonus
Anthony Davis is
and
before
he
this man.
win
Anthony Davis
25,000.
is before this man. Look at that, Anthony Davis.
But go and place your bet, Hans. Go and place your bet on FanDuel. Place $100, you could be $25,000 richer if it does come
Hey,
true.
I just might. You never know. Risk that Grant
But
Lee.
but you gotta say it every night before you go to sleep. Say a prayer that's a bonus win MVP because they can't see it happening. It can't see it happening.
Hey, I might have to. I you know what they say. Sometimes dreams do come true. And if it does, hey, you heard it from me on Hastro Bros, like Hakim will say. You heard it from me first on Hastro Bros. It's a bonus for MVP.
We will turn this into a meme for sure. We will turn this into a meme. Say that one more time for the cameras. Say that one more time for the cameras.
It is what it is. You heard it from me first on Hastro Bros. It's a bonus for MVP 2025. Peoples, you gotta jump on this bonus train, man. Man's doing big things. And we move off to defensive player of the year. Y'all might think that I might come to my senses on this one, but I can start with Rayvon for defensive player of the year.
Very
Predictions for 2024 to 2025 NBA season.
Very easy. Not going to make this long. Victor Wembanyama is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, hands down, guaranteed. I think it's pretty much a lock. FanDuel got his odds at minus 115, which is the best odds for any award for the season, really and truly. Coming off of last year, Victor was second in voting. He finished second in Defensive Player of the Year voting. I can only see Victor Wembanyama get him miles better than he was last year. The team is going to be a little bit better. The defensive rating, therefore, will be a little bit better. And he's going to fill up the stats on the defensive end. He's going to average three plus blocks a game, probably a steal and a half a game. And then when you look at his impact, his on and off numbers on the defensive end, just looking back at last year, you could see the impact that he had on our team defensively when he was on and off the court. And with more NBA intelligence and a leap from him, it's a done deal. The voters' fatigue is already there for Rudy Gobert. So last year was Rudy Gobert's last defensive player of the year. Let me just put it out there straight. Rudy Gobert is already take a lot of heat. He already not liked so much across the NBA. I don't see how he win this award again when with Victor Wembanyama exists. So the question is, how many of these awards is Victor going to win in the next couple of years? Really and truly, it's not a matter if he's going to win it this year or not, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot. The one person that I think may challenge him for this, I think Bam may, if the Heat have a good defense on the season, if the Heat plays exceptional defense on the season, Bam has always been one of those players who's been in that conversation to some degree of one of the best defensive players in the league. If the Heat can find a way to be like a top 5 defense and do well, I think he might get a consideration for it. That's my steeper pick, but Victor Wembanyama for right now.
Okay.
That's reasonable. Hakim, you got Bronny right. You can just skip.
How did you know, man? You read my mind. But I have Wemby for sure is my pick. I mean, I have to echo what everyone said. You know, Wemby said he told Rudy, this last year was yours. Going forward is mine. So I mean, and I saw a stat, not a stat, but like a article that Wemby's put on, I guess, at a weight since his rookie debut. So, you know, everybody knows weight gain goes hand in hand with defensive prowess, especially when you're a big player. You know, maybe he was being pushed around sometimes in certain aspects. You know, with this extra weight, extra strength, it's going to be even more difficult to move him. He's going to be a bigger presence in the paint. The WNBA effect is 2.0, one could say no. I don't want to say, I don't want to go as far as say it's a done deal because anything can happen in NBA.
Don't worry, I said
Obviously,
it. It's fine.
is only way I can say if it's a lot deal, barring injury, of course. But things happen.
Yeah.
But as I can see right now, Wemby has to be the guy. DPOY for sure. One other person, in my opinion, that could truly rival him is if Giannis goes berserk this season, which he is capable of. He is not that old. He's still a young guy. So it's very much possible. But other
And
than
he has a
that,
lot of reason to as well.
Wemby, yeah, he wants to remind people, I'm still that guy. I'm still here. I got a chip a while ago, but don't forget about me. I'll be moving like I'm not really a player anymore in this league. So I think that's a good chance, outside chance. But Wemby's probably for the cake, the DPOY.
I don't got to say
What you got,
much,
Hans?
man. I got Wemby as well. I don't got to say much. Like he's been my rookie of the year, and defensively, that's well, one of the reasons was because of his defense, um, and like you guys said, it's only a step up from last season. He was a rookie last season, and he did numbers. This season improved, so definitely going to be in the conversation against Gobert, and you already like kind of highlight everything on Gobert and that Wemby matchup for defensive player of the year. So for me, it's a no brainer. I just gave you all one freebie previously, but moving forward with my predictions, you already know that is competition for
We,
me.
we want to handles. Bring
Hey, let's
bring the fire, man. Bring the fire. We want to
let's
handles.
go. Wemby's my pick. Wemby's my pick. No, this one is going to be interesting, guys, because this one, you can't choose the guy that won it last year because he's going to be a starter. No,
Well, you,
but
That's questionable.
really,
yeah,
you think so?
because he got replaced, but because Julius Randle came in. I mean, so he's gonna start with
Bro, that's an easy swap. What are you talking about?
Come
I,
on, bro.
I don't understand
Nah.
how you guys on this Julius Randle train. Like,
Julius
bro,
Randle, I am not of all people, I am not on a Julius Randle train. We know this by now. But Julius Randle is paid $30 million. How is Nas Reed starting over Julius Randle? I can't see that happening.
we can see it happen because performance was swapped in positions quick, real quick. Watch and see. But that's just my
I don't think so.
opinion. I
I don't think so. All right.
Hey, we will see. But 6 months of the year, like Rayvon alluded to, my pick is Jaden Hardy from Dallas Mavericks.
Ooh,
I like the
that's
I like
it.
the young man. He has been, I would say, improving at a steady pace over the last season. He's learned a lot, that's for sure. Coming off from the beginning of the season and then what he showed up until they kind of went out kind of soft, in my opinion, disappointing. But he did show a lot of progress, and then even in some of the preseason games this year, he's been showing what he can do, and I think he will continue to improve. Obviously, he's not gonna be starting on that starting team on that starting five, but I think he's one of those players who's going to be chosen more often than not. Even though Dallas, I would argue, got a pretty deep set of players, I think he's going to be the sixth man for them, and with that, his performance is going to propel him to be sixth man of the year potentially. So, I would put some money on Jaden Hardy to get that award for this year.
okay. My pick. I have after this pick, you're gonna see a trend, right? And you'll be like, that made sense. It made sense. Dante DiVincenzo is my pick for sixth man of the year. I think he's gonna play with that anger in his eyes, a venom in his heart, just trying to show the world and Knicks especially that you shouldn't have traded me. I am that guy. Started off in preseason, starting cooking some guys already. So I think he's out for blood. Obviously, I'm after MVP. So you know what that means? I have this team for greatness. I have this team for success. Oh, let me just play it back a little bit. When I say success, they didn't make the Western Conference Finals again because they still got Lakers to win it all. You know, but
Wait. We got pause. Pause. This is not the man that picked the under on Lakers last episode. We got
remember what
pause there. Wait.
remember what I said last time.
I remember what you said.
I said they're going to be under. They're gonna struggle through the league because they don't know how to readjust. They don't have the depth. When it comes to a series and they're ready to lock in, they're gonna lock in and find a way to beat any team they come against. That's what I said. When
It
they say
don't work
lock
like
in,
that.
they're a championship
work
team.
like
When they're ready to lock in, they're gonna lock in.
It
But
don't work like that.
it works like that. We saw it in 2022. We're gonna see it again in 2025. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. So, actually, it's 2023. Yeah, it was 2023.
You mean
Actually, playoff
versus
run.
when the
When they
Nuggets,
got to the finals
Nuggets-
against the Nuggets. Yes, 2023. So it worked then. It's gonna work now. It's gonna happen. So, but my pick is Dante, Minnesota Timberwolves. As I said, he has that anger and venom. He's gonna play like someone done him dirty, and he's gonna elevate his game. He has what it takes to he's a good 3-pointer already. He's gonna play defensive. He knows how to make the right plays. IQ is pretty good, and he has that chip on his shoulder. He's as I said, which is vital for a 6 man of the year to play fearless. He has to play fearless, and with Ant-Man there as the main guy, he's gonna wreak havoc on these boys. So that's my pick right there. The 6 man of the year, Dante DiVincenzo.
All right, so let me push back on both on from the Timberwolves perspective. If I'm taking Hansel's assumption in the case of Dante because I think if there's anyone that gets in the starting lineup is Dante because of how good he's been playing or he has played in the preseason. I think it might be a case where they might put Mike Conley on the bench instead and play Dante DiVincenzo as a starter. So truthfully, I feel like if he continues that progression, they're going to have to play him in the starting lineup, if you get what he's saying. So I wouldn't pick him for 6 man of the year because I see his trajectory just going up. Nas won't play before Julius Randle for sure, in my opinion. Julius Randle will either gotta be hurt or he will gotta be absolutely atrocious. And even if he's bad, I still think that he will still get a pay because you're paying the man's a $30 million pay. Come on, Nas making like $15 million a year or something like that. There's no way that happening.
Unjust, but okay.
Unjust, but yeah,
Is yeah.
This is a reality.
It's league ball.
This is a reality. So my pick for the 6 man of the year this year actually is a little bit of a long shot. I don't know if you know if you guys know Deuce. Well, call him Deuce McBride, Miles McBride from the New York Knicks. I watched a couple of their preseason games. I was watching him from last season as well, but he looked really good in preseason. One of the weaknesses of the Knicks team this year that I would have pointed out on our last episode is that the Knicks bench is not deeper talent at all. So they're going to need some of those guys to outplay their typical, outplay themselves essentially.
Yeah.
I think based on what I've seen from Deuce McBride in the past and based on what I've seen from him in the preseason, he has a great chance to win 6 man of the year because the Knicks are going to be, I would say, within the top 1 to 4 seeds, and he's going to have to fill up the stat sheet, especially on offense, with that second unit that he's going to be leading. So that's the only way that I could see the Knicks, maintaining that top 1 to 4 seeds. With even though their starters are really good, the bench need to have some juice, and you can get it with Deuce.
Yeah. But is that sustainable though? That's the thing. Like he's going to lead a second unit. You already mentioned that the second unit isn't that deep. Obviously they'll mix it up with some of the players from the starting lineup and stuff like that. But is he going to be able to learn that quickly and be able to spend enough time? Like enough minutes to pick up from where Jalen's gonna, I guess, pass the ball and like be able to lead the team
I
to
don't have a doubt
to
about
the
it.
stats that would give him 6 man of the year, because to get 6 man of the year from a point guard position is harder than other positions, in my opinion.
I, I think to get the rubric for 6 man, the unofficial rubric for 6 man of the year is to get buckets. Get buckets off the bench. Very simple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel what may taint his case a little bit is because he's also a good defensive player, and that's usually not taken into consideration on the 6 man of the year end. So players who just go getters, scores like Jordan Clarkson and stuff like that may get a nod over him. But if we look at the complete player and what they do coming off the bench, I feel like Deuce McBride can and will be one of the best in the NBA this season. As I said, it's a long shot. His odds are plus 2,500, which is not totally shabby. He's in the top 10, 15 for that award. So kind of a long shot, but I could see how it would be possible for him to win it.
As long as you got a vision, buddy, that's that's all you need for things to come true, right? For dreams to come true. All you need is a vision. But my one thing about that is it sustainable, and being a point guard, like 6 man point guard in my head is a tough get. If you were a guy like Nas who was being fed the ball and being able to put up points, then that's a little bit different. But if you
It's
gotta create, is harder to get your own when you are the creator of the team.
Jordan Clarkson.
at
You
the same
see,
time.
Jordan Clarkson is a what position? She's a small forward. Yeah, she's a point guard.
Yeah, I would say he's a guard. He could play
He's
either
a
point
shooting
guard or shooting
or
guard.
shooting
Yeah,
guard.
I would classify him more as a shooting guard to me. I would classify Deuce McBride more as a shooting guard to me, but they would both have point guard responsibilities from here to there.
Okay. But
Campaign is
definitely,
on the Knicks, so
but
I think
definitely, that guy from he's on the Wizards now. Jordan Clark, not Jordan Clarkson.
Malcolm Brogdon,
No, no, he's on the Washington Wizards. He
Brogdon on
flopped
the
last year.
Wizards.
He flopped last year with Kyle Kuzma.
Flop. Oh, you mean Jordan Poole?
Yes, he's a shooter. He's a point guard. He's definitely a point guard, right?
He's also one of those players, point guard slash
Shooting
shooter.
guard.
Like point guard is such a
It's,
it's
it's a
such
weird.
a
It's fading out now.
ambiguous term. Yeah, yeah. It's
There are no
such an
true point
ambiguous
guards
term. Yeah,
anymore. There are no more true
yeah,
point guards
yeah.
anymore. They're
Very
all about
few.
bucket.
Chris
Yeah,
Paul, Mike Conley.
yeah. The shooting guards masquerading
Yeah,
as point guards.
yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it. On to the
So
next one.
yeah, on to the next. No, I can be upfront and honest. I don't know much about rookies of the year, but I know where the hype lies. Um, I can start with Hakeem on this one. Actually, no, I can start with Rayvon on this one. I think I went to Hakeem first last month. Can't remember, but seems like Zach is the guy. Um, I don't know much about rookies, to be honest. Never be my thing. I always would just come in and see who are the big names and then kind of watch a few games. But seems like Zach is the guy. Everyone, was your synopsis on him being or possibly being rookie of the year? If he is your rookie of the year, I don't know.
That's a good place to start. He's actually going to be rookie of the year, to be honest. Um, but it's very
Did you
simple.
go? Did you
To
go
me,
with the hype?
no. But this is a recipe for rookie of the year, in my opinion. Last couple of years, we've been watching this stuff. I've been watching this stuff pretty carefully. It's about opportunity. It's where opportunity meets ability. So let me break down opportunity. Opportunity is you gotta get enough minutes to score enough points. That's part one.
Playing time.
Zaidi, yeah, playing time. Zaidi is going to start for the Memphis Grizzlies. Where I think his case is quite unique as it relates to opportunity, he's getting to play with good players from the start. He's playing in a position that he's going to need people to give him the ball. You got John Morant on your team.
Sure.
So you're playing with good players, you gain the playing time. Is only natural to think that you are going to score a fair amount of points. The next thing, as I said, is ability. I watched a couple of his preseason games. I watched him at college a little bit. The little bit of college I did watch, he was a beast at college, in my opinion. And he is very, I could say he's a very durable player, big, and I could say he has a lot of stamina because I see him playing some crazy minutes in some of those college games, like averaging like 40, almost 40 minutes. I think, yeah, almost 40 minutes and stuff. So I think he has the ability in terms of strength, skill. What I've seen from him in the preseason, his ability to learn as well has been really good, and he's going to have a lot of opportunity to take Rookie of the Year pretty easily, in my opinion.
Hakeem?
I hear these reasons, right? And they sound well done, sound sophisticated. I like fantastic. For me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm going with the hype. I'm going with hype. I go anxiety. I saw the stats, read the articles, but I know in the preseason, man, 7'4". Come on, no, 7'4" player with Jamorant, Lob City. Well, he might not be jumping, but we still call it Lob City. It's gonna be spectacular. And as you said, the only reason the Grizzlies got this high of a pick is because Ja was out and they were atrocious last year, but really because Ja was out. And then they traded away. There was another player I felt like they traded away.
Steven
But-
Adams?
Might be him as well too. Might be him. But I feel there's another player that I'm missing, or another player was injured. But either way, Ja Morant is their.
Jarrett, I think.
I can't recall
Was
right
he
now.
the other guy from that bomb squad, I guess, a couple years ago?
Yeah,
Talking about
I know
Marcus
Ja
Smart.
But he's been traded to that team, correct?
I mean, oh, you said they traded away. I thought you said somebody that was
I
traded.
feel like they traded
I was
away
injured.
a player
Oh,
or
Yeah.
injured, other than Ja Morant. But Ja Morant is the catalyst for this team. So him being back is already going to elevate this team to a higher level. Once he stays healthy, I have to say that nowadays these players be coming back for injuries, and then the Tutus they back out as well. So once he's injury free, he's in a good position. So that breakdown where everyone did was spectacular. I didn't study that part with the opportunity in terms of him being paired with great players, or I don't know, say great. Well, I guess I could call Jamar a great player. Great to good players from the get-go compared to Wemby, who had a lot the opposite. So Zaidi is in a
That was also a
position-
lot of opportunity as well.
opportunity to get high minutes and to make your stats look good. He was my rookie.
Right.
He
But
was
that was
my rookie
Rayvon's
year.
point.
It wasn't my, but no. What also Rayvon's point is that he's playing with good players as well too. So he's gonna be winning up front. He's gonna be winning. Although we know winning doesn't matter rookie of the year because that was only for me. I would have given it to Wemby. We know this already, but Saidi is my pick.
You would have given it to Chat, you mean?
Yeah, to check.
We already know we need to give it. Like, come on, man. When you a great player or a good player on a trash team, it starts have to look good. You have to look good because you're the only standout player. So I just feel like
Yeah, but you still got to do something to show that
the
you
man
deserve
he
the
was
award.
second in defensive player of the year stats, and his team finished with almost dead last in the West. Come on, that's just me. I know it's an individual award. We've been through this, so I think.
But
Zaidi-
you could also argue Chat had a lot of help. Like it's always this counter argument thing between the two scenarios because they're two ends of the spectrum, so to speak. So like
but I think his contributions made a winning impact on the game.
if you say so, bro.
As the way I see it, But hey,
If you
Uh,
say so.
we digress for that part, but Zaidi is my pick. So Zaidi, let's go. Let's get him. I got my bet locked in. FanDuel, pay your boy when you win. Pay your boy.
Next on the list is going to be most
Yeah.
improved player.
You pick nobody hands?
Me, like I said
picking
in the
Castro.
intro, like I wasn't sure with who was going to be in that race, and I know there's the hype. Sure, I could go with Hakim with the hype. I mean, I ain't got nothing to lose with the hype. If there's no like close competitors, I can say, or yeah, this person might actually be. I feel like it's not really a prediction. It's more like a yes, predictions are selections too. It's more like a appointed ones. Like, okay, this is the guy for this slot. No doubts about it. Is what it is. They're in the competition. Might as well. You know what I mean? So might as well.
I don't know about
Zaidi,
that place, but you could always
might
gotta
as
pick.
well. I mean, Bronny James isn't in question for that. So,
Most definitely not.
but speaking of most improved player, what are your thoughts?
Where
You think
are
he
you
might be?
improving from? Where are you improving from?
Hey, he has a lot of room for growth. That's the thing. So let me hear what you got to say. Who's your most improved player of the year prediction?
My most improved player is Evan Mobley. I believe he'll win it. I think this is actually one of the hardest predictions that you have to make on a yearly basis. Like this is one that could go so many different ways. So, like there was that year that Ja Morant won it, and Ja Morant is just like, bro. I pretty much already a star in the league. I don't really need uh, a most improved player award. And then you got players out there that actually probably deserve it. You know, maybe coming from averaging like 4 points a game and then going up to like 18 points a game, and better averages across the board, like more deserving of it. But I'm picking Evan Mobley because of my prediction last week, where I predicted that I think the Cavs are going to get the number one seed, and I think a lot of that is going to be based on Evan Mobley's evolution, his offensive evolution, for the Cavs, and how it will make their offense better. With that said, I think he's going to at least average maybe five to six more points a game, which may put him around like the 20-point range. And with the success of the team, that's going to put a little bit more eyes on him as well. He's also one of the best defensive players in the league already. I think he is actually the top 5 in odds. Yes, he's 4th in the odds on FanDuel, plus 1,400 to win Defensive Player of the Year. So taking into consideration all of those things, Evan Mobley for most improved player from me.
Okay. Didn't expect that. So what do you have Cavaliers to finish? Because they made the playoffs
First
last
seed,
year. So
the East.
what? First in the East?
Yep.
You said what? You said first in the East?
Cleveland.
Okay, over
Oh my God.
Celtics, over Bucks.
Over the Celtics. Over
Well,
the
Butts
over
is
whoever, is
understandable.
over everybody.
Over the
Clear.
Knicks. The Knicks got better, you know. They got your boy Karl Anthony Towns.
Bro, I picking the
Man,
Celtics.
not banking
I
on
picking
Carl.
I picking the Cavs. I don't understand where that's unreasonable.
This
I mean,
is
I
another
want to
big
get into
moment.
it, but let me do it now. Let me do
Say it for the,
let me do
say
it
it for
now.
the camera again. Say it for the camera again.
No
Which team
problem.
you pick?
I'm
Which team are you picking
predicting
for
the
to get over
Cavaliers.
the East?
Wait, there's not we talking about who's gonna get the number one seed. I'm picking the Cavaliers
Mm-hmm.
to be the number one seed. The Cavaliers last year won 48 games after they had a pretty injury-riddled season. You're telling me they got a new coach that's going to implement a better offensive system. I believe that's going to implement a better
Assuming.
offensive system.
Yet to be proven.
But all this is assumptions that we're doing right now. Everybody assuming, oh no. So I believe that their coach is going to implement a better offensive system. That's where they struggled last season. On top of that, the improvement of Evan Mobley. On top of that, Donovan Mitchell still exists, and he's still a goddamn good player. On top of that, Darius Garland is going to be back. Like, I feel like they have a more
On top of
complete
that,
season.
Jared Allen.
How
Let me help you.
Jared Allen was missed a lot of time last year. Big part of their defensive identity. I think the
And
Cavs are
offense.
going to, and offense as well. I
Mhm.
think the Cavs are going to get the number one seed this year, providing that they obviously we're assuming health. If they stay healthy, they won 48 games last year and they were not that healthy. Imagine when they are healthy, have a better offense. Going from I think they were 16th ranked in offense last season. I think at least they could get to somewhere in the top 10 or hovering around there.
Probably get 55 wins. Still can't get first in the East though. All right.
I think they will still get first in the East.
My take on first in the East right now has to be between the Celtics and the Knicks. I believe the
Knicks over Cavs.
Celtics have gone nowhere. Celtics are going to be improved. Jalen Brown's going to feel like he has something to prove. Tatum, off of that poor showing in Paris, he's going to have to prove something. He's going to want to show why I am a top player or the best player in the league, as he would say, why he should be deserving of a finals MVP and not Jalen Brown. So those two are going to be going at it for the betterment of the team. So the Celtics are going to be a force to reckon with. And then the Knicks, I already believe in the Knicks. And then they have added Carlton Towns, who should be eligible to play a lot of these games. I believe he's more of a fit player than Julius Randle. So he's going to be contributing more. Once they find the dynamic how to make
But
those two work.
Julius Randle ain't on Knicks no more. So how you
That's what I'm saying. So because I
I
compare the fact that Carlton Towns is more fit, he's healthier. He normally doesn't have as many injuries compared to Julius Randle when Julius Randle was on Knicks.
Okay, got you.
He normally gets injured and miss a lot of games. So with Carlton Towns, those two teams to me are gonna be fighting out in the East. Then you just said then you put Cavs. Let's not forget Pacers were still pretty good last year. Then you could put the Cavs. Either or. But those are my top two
You
teams
put
for sure.
Pacers over Cavs?
Well, it could go either or. Let's not forget that let's not act like they don't exist anymore. But definitely top two teams for sure for me, Knicks and Celtics. Hands down.
That's reasonable, but I'm not trying to be reasonable. I think I have a good argument for the Cavs making the number one seed, and the reasons that I lay out seem pretty logical. People might not want to think about it that way, but I think the Cavs have the recipe to be the number one seed, despite the Celtics star players feeling got a chip on their shoulder because they met the USA team, etc., etc., etc. I said last week the East is going to be tougher, and I think that the Cavs will win more regular season games. Yes, one thing that we don't mention here about the Celtics is that Kristaps Porzingis is going to be out. Yes, he was out a fair amount of last season as well, so the Celtics will survive without him. But I feel like the East being tougher makes the reliance on Kristaps Porzingis felt a little bit more. Therefore, you lose a little bit more than you would have normally done last year. That's my rationale.
I watched some of these preseason Celtics games and Celtics bench looking deep too. So I don't
That's
know
fine.
about losing Kristaps Porzingis being
That's okay.
a big shot to the Celtics. I mean, I feel like Kristaps right now is a nice to have if he was there and maybe preferred, but I don't think Celtics lose as much as you might think. But anyways, I want to get back to the immediate matter, which would be the most improved player. Since Hakeem had so much to say about Evan Mobley and rebutting Roy Vaughn's prediction, who do you have to be
I
that
have
player?
Wembanyama from the Spurs. For me, we know Wemby was pretty good last year, but I think being on an improved team with Chris Paul, that veteran player who's a Hall of Famer, is going to be able to help guide Wemby, put him on the right path, or make sure he's still on the right path to success. Wemby's already we saw when we played in France at the Paris Olympics. He put France on his back. He's improving. He got his weight up. Diet is right. Chris Paul hitting the alley hoops, I think he's going to be a much improved player because I do expect the Spurs to have a better record. And I think just we already locked him in for Defensive Player of the Year. So to win Defensive Player of the Year, one could argue most improved player. I don't care if it's second or not. One could say most improved. And I think he's going to be more of a threat on offense as well. So to me, he's a legitimate candidate for most improved player. And then we've seen it. We've seen it with. I think it was it with Giannis. I think Giannis back in his day. I think he I can't remember what season, but he got most improved player. Or I think Jam Morant also
Yeah,
got most improved player
yeah,
after
yeah.
winning
Jamorant, Giannis.
rookie. Yeah. So I just see it. This is a trajectory, and I think he's gonna follow suit. And those both of those players, obviously good to great players. If Giannis already winning a chip, so I think he's gonna follow a similar trajectory, and he's gonna get most improved player.
Pattern in history, huh?
It's patent. Is the English say it? Patent?
I have no idea. so so I have a question based on your analysis. And this stems from your own thing about winning games, and you know when we being the rookie of the year before, and him not really deserving of it because he didn't win a lot of games, and because he was kind of like a star player on their team because he didn't really have much depth. Um, don't you think that because now he has a little bit more help, that the that his improvement might be like dwarfed a little bit just because he's not able to, or he doesn't have to do as much as he had to before?
I think they're going to expect more of him this season because he's already played a year in the league. So I think they're going to expect him to be more dominant defensively. I think with Chris Paul now, they're going to be able to highlight more of his offensive prowess. And I think just because of that element of what Chris Paul brings, being a true point guard, not a shooting guard masquerading, but a true point guard, a true one, as they say, I think is going to allow Wemby to, he's going to position Wemby in such a way that he's going to give Wemby the best possible shot. Easy dunk, easy layup. Well, I don't see Wemby laying up, but easy dunk. So he's going to be able to find space for Wemby. And you have to still respect Chris Paul in the day because Chris Paul can get his bucket. And by that, it does free up some space. And ultimately, Chris Paul can still get other players engaged as well. So just by freeing up the court, which I think he didn't really have last year, is going to allow Wemby to really showcase his offensive skill set. I think that's why he's going to get most of the players. So I think that's why, to me, he's going to get it.
Fair. Any additions to that, Raymond, or?
I think that's a solid pick. It's very easy to pick. It will be very easy to pick Victor Wembanyama as most improved player this season, truthfully, because I think we all know he's going to take a leap. We could see it coming off of that Olympics, the little bit that we saw in preseason, and just the ceiling of the ceiling that he has is almost exponential. So, with all that said, it's very easy to see that being the case.
Fair enough. Low key though, I think Bronny James though, low key.
Hey, most improved player?
No,
You know what? The man
no,
all-star.
Hans. No, what he improving from? I asked you what he improving from.
From nothing, B. That's the whole point. I
What?
think like if
Rookies can't get.
you
How rookies can get what's improved player? This most improved player in your head.
no, he can be improving from preseason, from
He improving in G League.
maybe, but that's a joke though.
Not Bronny James.
That's a joke. This one was a tough one for me to decide on because I think that there are a lot of young players who have shown that they have room for improvement, and they've also shown that they have what it takes to help their team out a lot. I agree. but yeah, like guys like Cody White, um, guys like Cam from Nets. I also mentioned Jaden Hardy before. He's got room for improvement as well. Um, Wemby is like the obvious pick. Like Hakim say,
Yeah,
history repeats itself, and like that trajectory usually is like that. People usually have their eyes on that player that got Rookie of the Year to do something else for the follow up season, and so like a lot more eyes are going to be on Wemby. I think with all that said, um, I have to go with the obvious pick in Wemby just because sometimes there's no telling with these other guys, and this has nothing to do with injury. This all has to do with how coaches see these players and how coaches play these players throughout the season. Wemby's already a no brainer. So we know like to piggyback on your explanation, he's going to get the opportunities, and he's going to get the time on the court to to show that improvement. And so I just got to go with Wemby based on that. But all the other guys would definitely improve for sure. I
yeah,
believe that they can. I remember when Cam was hitting like 40-point games and 30-point games like nothing, but that was more of a solo effort. For him to show improvement, now he has to bring the team with him, and that's a tougher ask. Jaden Hardy obviously would be playing that point guard role as well. So, Wemby is my pick for that.
well, I figure you would have gone with Jalen Hardy because I think for him to win Sixth Man of the Year, he would have to really up his level of play significantly to the point where he
Mhm.
would have to be considered for most improved player. But
For
fair enough.
most improved, yeah. Yeah, I mean they go hand in hand. I would like to, but that Dallas team is so deep. I think like they have 3 point guards, right?
Mhm.
And like you guys said, they're shooting guards that can pose as point guards as well. And I don't know what Jason Kidd's vision for Jalen Hardy in that team would be. So there's a lot of room for different lineups for the Dallas Mavericks, and I think it's just safer to go with a guy that is going to be on the court every night almost as long as he's healthy. So um, that's my pick. Victor Wembanyama. No, clutch player of the year. Clutch player of the year. Some might say Jamal Murray, even though he didn't have quite a showing in the Olympics, like especially against Lakers. I don't know what Hakim laughing at, but especially against Lakers,
When it comes to clutch
Jamal
against the
Murray's been
Lakers,
cooking you guys on the buzzer.
exactly.
exactly. When it comes to clutch against the Lakers, any other team,
Hey, I only saying that so you will stop laughing. That's the only reason I say that. But there there's been players all across the league. Luca, there's been Curry, there's been Joker, LeBron, even like there are a lot of people who can go for this award. But again, opportunity always calls. If you don't get the opportunity to be in these tight games, then you might not
Yeah,
get
how
this
he can
one.
be.
And I think so everyone was thinking that defensive player was one of the tougher ones to pick. I think this one is probably the most difficult one to pick because you're making two predictions in opportunity for a team to be always in that situation and the player of that team to come out on top. So I
Yeah.
can toss this one to you, Hakeem. Who do you think will be clutch player of the year?
the man who owns New York, Jalen Brunson. Clutch, clutch. What more I gonna say? Only thing you do know is join clutch sports because the man is clutch. He's to me, he's obviously the closer on the New York Knicks. He has what it takes to execute. I think he's fearless. The team trusts him. It's his team. I don't care what cat physically comes across there. It's Jalen Brunson's team. I think you have the most opportunities to, to finish the game. Essentially, he's going to have to go on that run, and he normally does go on the run when it's clutch or when it's crunch time. I can't see anyone else. I mean, honorable mention to Steph Curry, but I think ultimately it's going to be Jalen Brunson. He's going to have the lion's share of the ball when it comes to those times. His mid range, his 3-point line, he can get to the basket, he can do it all. I just think he has the skill set. It's his team. Obviously, I predict the team to go either one or the two in the East. So, with that being said,
one or two, and so they're basically gonna have to struggle their way to one.
I don't think it's gonna struggle. I don't think it's a struggle, but it's always a fight. Well, not always, but most teams are not always gonna be a fight. What I was gonna say, the only thing that might work in their against them is if they're essentially blowing out the team, then there's no sense to be clutch because he's probably gonna be the bench when it comes to that clutch time. But I do foresee some have to be tight games. I have them coming out first or second in the East, but it's not like it's going to be a breeze. The West is still a dominant force. They still have to play a good set of matches in the West. And at the end of the day, most NBA games can be considered close. It's only when it comes to a certain time then it just get, the lead is extended. So ultimately, to me, he's the guy. He's the player. And I have him to be the most clutch for sure.
Interesting. So you got New York beat Cavs, but they gotta be in enough clutch games with Brunson to get clutch. Okay. Rayvon, what's your clutch pick?
Yeah, I ain't getting man logic there, but nonetheless, I go in. Well, this is another hard one for me, as you alluded to. I reference most improved player is one of the hardest things to predict. And this is my second hardest thing to predict. I was on the edge of picking Steph Curry because he won it last year. And I think the situation that the Golden State Warriors is in is very similar to what they're going to be in again this year. Steph Curry being pretty much the only star player on the team with a bunch of role players. You're probably going to have a lot of games where it comes down to the last couple of minutes. And Steph Curry proved last year he was great at getting points in those last couple of minutes. Sorry, in the Olympics as well. But a player that we widely consider the best in the league is also going to be in a similar situation from my perspective. Going with Nikola Jokic for Clutch Player of the Year. Why? I don't think the Nuggets will be as good as they were last year. It's going to require Jokic to be more of that MVP type player and be more of a clutch player because they're going to play closer games. Because as I said, I think holistically, they're not as good a team as they were previously. So for them to get those wins to stay in the top 5 in the West, Jokic is going to have to do some unbelievable stuff in the last 5 minutes of close games. And he's proven that he can do so. In the last season, Jokic was third in the clutch for players who scored at least 3 points per game in the clutch on a 45% shooting efficiency. He had the best efficiency among those players as well at 55% field goal percentage. So when you look at those two stats alone, you could tell that he is an exceptionally efficient player. Overall, we know that, but specifically in the clutch, he can get you buckets and score when you need him most. And I think the Nuggets are going to need it a lot from him this season. So that's my clutch player of the year.
I honestly can't argue there, but we see. I think it's going neck and neck, but we shall see. I think he definitely has more opportunities, in my opinion, just because of what you said. But I still think Chilen is going to do what he has to do.
But I don't see how the Knicks end up being in all of those. I guess clutch
because clutch is the last 2 minutes or is the last 3 minutes?
Last 5 minutes.
Last 5 minutes. So I mean, ultimately, I think he's gonna get a lot of points within that 5 4 minute region, maybe three. Then the lead's gonna be extended, and then he's gonna have like then it's like nine like you know sub out etc. But he's still gonna have to score. He's gonna be scoring those dagger shots that prevent the runs from the run of the opposing team from really coming to fruition. I think that's what's gonna happen for the majority for a good side of those games. They're gonna have the obviously gonna have the close games. I think that's gonna happen. In Steph's case, it can really be a case where they get blown out, and it doesn't make sense playing Steph in that clutch time. It makes sense to rest him because there already is a foregone conclusion. So I think it can see both sides to it in my opinion. But obviously go with Jaden because yeah.
Hans, what you
Well,
saying?
obviously there are a lot of players that can fit this bill. Like I said, one player that I didn't mention that just came to mind, and I think based on my first prediction in Kings being, I guess, a so-called contender in the West because I think they're going to be better in having DeMar DeRozan, who I think would be a good candidate for clutch player.
Always is.
Pardon?
I say always is, but he had the most clutch points last season. But my pushback on that is you got another really good clutch player on your team as well. You got De'Aaron Fox. So
Yeah,
it can't be the same way.
that's the thing. Like you, so I guess this is another dimension of it. You have to have that one player because if you're sharing, then your stats are going to be half essentially,
Yeah.
theoretically speaking. So he came to mind because of his ability to be clutch, but I gotta stick with Steph. I don't think Golden State is quite out of the woods yet, even though they've shown to be a pretty strong team in the preseason. I still think they're going to have a lot of fighting games that they need to overcome, and we know basketball is all about matchups. A team might not look good against another team, but as soon as it hit your team, then it's trouble and you find yourself having to dig yourself out, or you play a little lackadaisical because you think that team is not good enough and you got to fight. So I would say Steph. He's my pick for clutch player. I think they're going to have more fighting games than people think, and like we all said before, West is a tough conference, and I think they got better the entire conference. So it's going to be a dogfight for sure. So Steph Curry is my clutch player of the year pick for sure. No, some awards that are, I would say, honorable mentions. Coach of the year. No,
I'm gonna go
I'll
first.
go first for this one.
Oh, you going first? Okay.
Again? Yeah.
I was gonna go first,
Unless
but
you want
you
to.
already got this one.
Unless you want to.
All right, let me get the ball rolling. So
Go ahead.
I would quick prelude. I picked Anthony Edwards. I picked Dante. So by extension, I'm gonna pick Chris Finch. He's my coach of the
But
year.
essentially, the Timberwolves fine. At this
Yeah,
point,
I was
I
saying
understand.
because
you say
earlier
that's
he
right.
was like we.
Get ready
He
to
was like,
purple and
we.
gold. Get ready to purple and gold. That's fine. I want to see that. I ain't bring back a
Never.
jersey for you.
Nah. I good. But that being said, I think the Wolves are on a good path right now. They have a solid foundation. So for me, for all this to happen, you have to give credit to the coach. Credit where is due. Chris Finch. End of discussion. That's my pick for coach of the year. Not gonna win it for the West, but that's my pick. That's my pick of the year.
Right on. What are you thinking?
You say
I,
you go ahead.
I was gonna say
You
something,
was
but
going
I'm not
first.
gonna say anything. Huh?
You was going first, so go ahead.
Oh, I thought people just wanted to, say their piece and then I say mine. I wasn't sure.
Go ahead.
My pick is based on what should have been last year, in my opinion. In my opinion, even though things didn't turn out the way we all hoped for. And I think people didn't realize how good of a coach Jason Kidd was in last season. Given that the season before, prior to that, you had a star player coming in and not quite fitting, the circle peg in the circle hole, but was able to kind of, shape towards the style of the team in a way while incorporating his own ability. I'm talking about Kyrie, of course, incorporating his own ability to see where his pieces might fit. Um, and then Jason Kidd having to figure out that dynamic between Luka and Kyrie. Yes, there's the element of the players figuring out something themselves and amongst themselves with the other team members, but there's also the coach element that has to kind of, for lack of a better term, oversee or kind of initiate certain things in order for the team to work. And he also has to put pieces around those guys as well to find the best fit. He also mentioned finding the best fit in this preseason as well in the interview. So I think people didn't really realize how much of a good coach he was in terms of their success, given where they've come from last season. So I would say if they can continue to grow, and I think they will. We talked about Clay joining the team. Clay's got some work to do, though. I'm not going to lie. But we talked about that, and I think if Jason Kidd could figure this out, again, like he figured out Kyrie, he's going to be top 2 candidate for Coach of the Year. And I'm going to stick with Jason Kidd for this. That's my prediction.
All right, sweet. Some points. I'm going with Kenny Atkinson. I already spoke to you guys about why I think the Cavs will be the number 1 seed. And once they obtain it, I don't see how Kenny Atkinson wouldn't win Coach of the Year, being a new coach, and bringing the team up to the number 1 seed. I think that's a pretty simple criteria there as well. Getting the best of the players. So Kenny Atkinson for me for Coach of the Year.
Cool.
All right.
Executive of the Year, man. Let me don't stick up. Executive of the Year.
I
I
really don't know, to be honest.
It's gonna be diabolical right now, right? Because this is gonna seem diabolical, but bear with me. Rob Pelinka.
Dog. Dog.
I didn't go
After you
Rob.
talk about last week. No.
I didn't go
After you
with
talk
Rob.
about nope. After you talk about last week, the Lakers they really made the changes. How them expect to be better than 40-something wins, yada yada yada. And you gonna talk about Rob Pelinka give me the executive of the year? You serious?
Here, the man. Never made the changes to the roster. Is the same team? The same team?
I know normally, right? Normally, I know these awards are given based off preseason.
That's the crazy money but went with JJ. Like, if you
I
can go with Rob,
I use that metric, but based on my rationale, maybe a little flawed. But I'm saying when the Lakers win the chip, it's going to be announced. Rob knew he was doing. Rob knew what he was doing. Rob was that guy. Rob was going to make some changes around Rob is going to make some changes around January, February. Get some trades in there. He's going to make a big time swap, and they know we're going to hear. Rob Pelinka's that guy. He had the vision all along. He already had things working in the background. We just had to.
My picks don't make no sense.
Rob Pelinka for Executive of the Year from Lakers. In the discussion. Boom.
We can make this a meme. Say it again in the camera. Say it again.
Rob
we can make this a
Pelinka,
meme.
Executive of the Year from the Lakers. Mark my word. I said it here first. Hastrobros.
There we go. we got some
This is
memeable
absolutely
moments here
diabolical.
today.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was diabolical, but hey.
yeah, it was.
That's worse now. My Sabonis pick, big man. So I feel good.
Actually, I don't think. Nah, you can't talk about
Nah.
That's arguable. That's arguable in my opinion. I actually don't know much about executives and what makes executives get executive of the year. So
You could choose. You could choose. You could just choose blank from this team. So you could choose blank from Sacramento Kings because you believe Sacramento Kings are going to have a fantastic season.
Apparently.
Bam. CEO, something like that.
you wanna
You figure out later, Hans.
nah.
You figure out.
Whoever is the
Brad
manager at
Stevens.
Celtics, executive, sorry, at Celtics, going with that guy.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens is my executive of the year pick.
All right. So I think that's a wrap for.
Wait,
You didn't-
you
you didn't give your
already
pick,
mentioned yours, or? Oh yes.
Oh, sorry.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think
no,
you did.
I didn't. My prediction for the executive of the year is Tim Connolly from the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think my main reason for this is that I think the Timberwolves are going to be better than people expect them to be. Not to say that a lot of people don't think that they have gotten better since the trade, but I think it's going to exceed the expectations of what they might have thought, and it will make Tim Connolly look like a genius for making the trade and also including the draft. I think Rob Dillingham is going to actually come and play. He looked kind of shaky in the preseason, but I think with time he's going to get the reps, and he's going to be he might become a important piece for the Timberwolves this season, from as early as this season. So that's also going to make make Tim Connolly look smart, even smarter already. So I think he has a good chance for executive of the year if those things pan out.
All right.
Got you.
Before we switch, let's do this rapid fire, quick.
Cool.
So I created some Hastro Bros awards, where we get to play around with how we give out awards a little bit. Quickly, the first one is I call it the Get Me Out player, the Get Me Out award. So this would go to the star player most likely to answer for a trade. Hans, off the rip, who do you have as your
The beard,
Get Me Out player?
James Harden.
James
did it
Harden?
quite a while. He's did it quite a while, quite a few times. Sorry, in the last couple of years when things didn't work out in his way. I think he might ask for one.
That was a crazy one. I wasn't expecting that one. What about you, Hans?
Zach Levine. Yeah.
I was calling that since last year. That is actually
But
not
Zach
my
too
pick.
nice. If he ain't
What?
asked for a trade every since, big man, he not getting asked for one. No.
Rapid fire.
What
But
do
this
you mean?
man, this man, it's time about time he leaves. I mean, if Lonzo's back, if they don't perform, he has to be asking for a trade. I don't care what they say. This man deserves to be the Lakers. Let's make it happen.
This man deserves to be a Laker. Not deserves. Deserves. Not wants to be. Deserves. Not the Lakers need him. Deserves. All right. All right. My pick for comeback player. For Get Me Out player is actually Trae Young. I feel like Trae Young might request a trade. The Hawks may be bad.
Nobody
Worse
wants
than
him.
they
bro.
expect.
He might be like Dame.
But he might ask out. Is about who asking out? If about whether somebody want him or not. He can answer.
Sure.
It would determine if he get traded or not.
I forgot about him.
He
I
can
forgot
answer.
about him as a star. Actually, he's been poor since that run he had a couple years ago. He's been. This team has been garbage.
Team has been garbage. So I think it's going to start off the season like that. They're gonna be trash. He's like, nah, I can't deal with this no more. He got 2 years left on his contract. I think that's about a reasonable time where star
Yeah, he
players
asked
ask
for
out.
Yeah.
He got a player option next year, but I think it's gonna happen this year. So Trae Young is my Get Me Out award winner. Well,
What about
prediction
LaMelo?
for this
He
year.
might ask. Just
Nah.
yes or no.
No.
He was injured too much.
Yeah, yeah.
Drama
Still
Queen.
his team at the end of the day.
Drama Queen award. This award goes to the player most likely to be the consensus crybaby in the NBA. What you got, Hans?
Luka. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, wait, you say it. That's fine.
Go with Luka, guys.
Luka a crybaby?
Yeah.
Luka is one of the biggest crybabies in the league. I feel like everybody should got Luka on the list. Truthfully. With that said, I got LeBron.
I was thinking LeBron too, but I don't think
You might
LeBron
get
is a
folded
big-
crazy, bro. You might
LeBron is a
get
big
folded
crybaby.
crazy.
LeBron is a big crybaby still.
must
LeBron
be
is a
getting
big
fouled.
crybaby.
Hey.
LeBron is a big crybaby still.
We on rapid fire, but I feel like crying for things that not deserved. If it's deserved, I feel it's legitimate. The man is get full and don't get the calls. And the critical points in the game too. But rapid fire. Hands.
Cat.
I think that's a good pick.
Cat. If Cat don't, anyways, I digress. Cat.
All right, and the last one, comeback player of the year. I'll start off this toss. I have Zach LaVine as my comeback player of the year. Just to define the comeback player, a player who missed 40 plus games last season, was fully healthy coming into the season.
You know, my second most exciting player is Ja. So I'm looking for Ja to do Ja things this season. So he's going to be my comeback player for the season.
My
You got
combat, my player is shout out to the
Comeback
to the
Bronny.
Bronny. Shout out to the
I
chat.
actually could see it. I actually could see it. He could come back from the G League. He could,
Bronny for most
Bronny
improved
can come back
player.
from the G.
Ain't play a game yet. No Bronny for comeback player. Ain't play a game yet. Pretty much ain't missed a game yet.
Bro,
Come on,
the
man.
man coming back. So he can go to the G League, like you say, and then he can come back. And then he can be a little better. And then he can show some improvement.
All right, this crazy. This out of pocket. This crazy. This crazy.
This is not right.
This
is not
crazy. That's crazy. That is
Take your time, Hakeem. Take your time.
All right. I going with John Moran's my comeback player.
Glad to see Bronny healthy, by the way. Just putting that out there.
But yeah, I go with Jamarat. Man, missed some time. He was on the dark side for a while. Now he's come back to the light. You know,
We
Jamarat
gonna see if he come back to the light.
came back to the light. He's on that dark side. Now he's back.
Watch you win a couple of games and he won't there.
He's back. He's back.
Gang.
That's he definitely back. He
Yeah.
definitely back then.
You see. Yeah, Jamarat my pick.
Come back and go back.
So
Cool.
yeah, that was the last
That was
the last Hastro Bros. Last Hastro Bros awards prediction. So we can put out a post with all the predictions from this episode, so you can see, get some details, and post it on Instagram. You can comment on the post and let us know what are your predictions as well. So look out for that in the next couple of hours. So we have to get back into doing our tradition on a weekly basis, which is the marquee matchup predictions, which is our bread and butter predictions for the NBA season. So every week we pick 3 matchups from the NBA schedule and we make our predictions on them. So 3 of the best matchups. So of course it's opening week in the NBA. So we are starting off our matchups with the 2 opening night games, which is tomorrow night. We have Knicks at Celtics, Wolves at Lakers, and then we're going to do predictions for Bucks and Sixers, which is on Wednesday. So first, Knicks at Celtics. Hans, What is your
Celtics.
prediction for that game? Ooh, you give me a chance to finish. Lord, I love it. I love it.
Bro. There's they're coming off a hype and points to prove. So Celtics can come out guns blazing, and Knicks still gotta figure it out. So Celtics.
I'll go with the Knicks on this one. I don't really got a
I
rationale for
get
it, to be honest.
competition. I like
I don't really
it.
got a rationale for it, to be honest. But I think this could be a fun one. Who
You
you got?
just got
Hats?
feeling.
I
Yeah.
have Celtics.
All right. On to Wolves at Lakers. We already know Hakeem picked, so we ain't answering he.
Nah.
Hans, who you got?
I'm
They
going,
going Wolves.
I am going with the Wolves.
What?
What?
Actually, I can bring back a shirt for you.
Yo,
Start repping LeBron. Get rid of the purple and go. You're a no Wolves fan. There's no
Is
way
he-
you went to this whole episode back in Timberwolves all the way. You picked more Timberwolves picked than me. Is he Timberwolves fan?
Look, maybe just starting. Maybe he starting 5 series, but is that guy too? I believe I do believe Lakers will win the chip, but they're not gonna beat. They're not gonna beat the Timberwolves on their first game of the season. I don't think Lakers have won. I don't think LeBron's won the opening game since he's been a Lakers. This man is not beating the Wolves at home, away from home too. Nah.
Man, I
Best
think you
believe-
still gotta look at the
oh,
fact.
they won. I think
think
this
he was,
this
right?
is a great idea. I think we should like have a graphic where we got a bar for Hakeem, LeBron on one side, out on the net side, and just show where the toggle is every stream. Like show this thing moving. For Hakeem.
We could try.
Because we ain't sure anymore. Yes, he's a Brown fan, but like Ant is a new hype, and I think Hakeem might be switching. So
Hakeem falling.
Is he changing the old guard? Eventually, has to change. So
Falling in love.
we know I'm not a Tatum. I'm not a Tatum fan like that. So definitely going Ant Man. But hey, Wolves.
this
All
is
right,
the first.
you know you're ready with my team.
Is it the first time you ever went against Lakers?
Nah.
Nah,
I remember
nah,
prediction last. A couple predictions last year. He did good.
I go against Lakers every now and then. It's just a matter of when and where. But opening night, history repeats itself. Away from home, these men, nah.
I feel
Bronny for the game, how you do?
All right, that's a stretch. Sir.
Nets.
yeah. That's the key there to move on. Bucks at series. Who you got, Hats?
Bucks. It says injury riddled. Bucks.
I mean, Embiid still can play. I still got my
But I got the Bucks. I got
Mine
Giannis
says-
and
My sister's
Dame.
injury riddle with one guy. One guy.
One man. Hans, tell me what was your prediction, man? 'Cause I don't
I
know.
go with 76ers.
I am going Bucks on this one. Actually, I picking all the away teams. This don't sound good, but anyway,
Hey, I like the competition.
Bucks on it. Are you like me possibly losing points? That's what you sound. That's subliminal for that.
For me?
nonetheless,
I possibly lose your points.
I say you like me. You like me possibly losing points. That's what you mean.
Okay.
But I going Bucks on this one. I think Bucks are one of the few teams that have personnel to actually guard Embiid. Paul George is going to be out in his first game, more than likely, to my knowledge. I don't see how he would play. But his injury isn't anything super serious, but I don't know if they're going to just bring him back just immediately like that. So I'm going Bucks on this one. Bucks going to come out hot because Giannis has something to prove. Dame has something to prove. It's kind of they got a kind of decent matchup because it's Maxey and Maxey versus Dame and Giannis versus Embiid. So this can be a tight one, but I lean on the Bucks for this one. Maxey might late at them. No, I talk about it. Maxey might late at that defense. That's one of the Bucks' biggest weaknesses. But I can stick with the Bucks.
Yeah. Stick to your guns.
Yeah, man. So that is our first marquee matchup predictions for the season. You can also look up for that on the Instagram page. We're gonna post it. Come in the comment section. Comment who are your picks. If you're here on the stream now, you can comment your picks as well. But I can switch it over to Hans just to mention quickly about the US Grand Prix that happened this weekend. It had a little shake up at the top. The Constructors Championship is getting a little interesting.
Dicey.
So, Hans, tell us quickly about your thoughts on the USGP.
Exciting USGP. As always, Texas brings out a lot of fans, and with a lot of fans, is always a lot of action. Haas, the big surprise for that race. A lot of overtakes, a lot of battles from top to bottom in the lineup. So very exciting race. The two title drivers championship title contenders not even finishing in the top two, because Ferrari upsetting, sticking to their guns, not bringing any upgrades, and coming out on top 1-2. Charles and Sainz, Max and Lando fighting like Max and Lewis used to fight. So Max now being chased and Lando being the chaser. So exciting stuff for F1. So looking forward to see what happens in Mexico.
Yeah, man. So we try to stay true with the F1 news as well. We're working on something in the scenes to bring you the next coming week or so as we draw closer to the end of the F1 season. So
we're trying to ship our hands to the actual race live.
I would actually bring live coverage. Live coverage for Hastro Bros. Got the Hastro Bros sweater and t-shirts on and everything. Hastro Bro umbrella. We out there, Hastro Bro mic cuff. Bro, I ready.
So for the F1 fans, we're not leaving you out. Just stick with us. We're trying to get some stuff off the ground when it relates to F1. So stay tuned. Is there anything else sports-wise that you guys want to mention that would have happened that would have sounded out quickly?
Nope, not from my end. Just really excited for NBA start.
Anything on the football end, Hakeem? I know you've been tuning in.
Football-wise, I think I would just say Liverpool beat Chelsea right now. They beat Chelsea 2-1 last weekend. Manchester City right now, they also won their match. And right now they are in the 95th minute. They got the winning goal. And right now they're they're first in the English Premier League. So that right now that league title race is pretty tight. Man City's in first, Liverpool's in second, and then I think Arsenal might be in third or so. And with another big game coming up this weekend, Arsenal versus Liverpool. So that's a huge match right now. Mm-hmm. And I think the El Clasico, which is Barcelona versus Real Madrid in Spain. A little backstory quickly. Right now, Real Madrid has an unbeaten record in La Liga, where they would have gone 42 games unbeaten, which is one game short of the record in La Liga, which is 43 games. That record is held by Barcelona, and fate may have it, Real Madrid's 43rd game is against Barcelona. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting. And that's a big match, El Clasico, right? That's the biggest match in Spain. So tune in for that. That's a Saturday, I believe. So that's going to be a huge match. And I think that's when it comes to in terms of football.
Any predictions for that, Hakeem?
I'm a Real Madrid fan, so I want Real Madrid to win.
Real, buddy, not real. Real Madrid.
I should be doing better. I went to Spain last year, so I should be doing better, But,
exactly.
Terrible.
And it was in Madrid too at that, So yeah, Real all the way.
Cool, good stuff.
All right,
and a quick shout out to the new T20 women's champions, New Zealand. They would have beaten South Africa in the finals. So West Indies, unfortunately, they lost in the semifinals to New Zealand just by 8 runs. It was a nail-biting finish, but they came out short. So New Zealand, if they beat the West Indies, they got to win. So they beat the West Indies and they won it all. So shout out to those champions as well. And that's it for me for the news.
All right. Nothing from my end news-wise. I've been tuning in. I don't know if you guys do watch esports, but there's League of Legends World Championships going on right now for all the gamers out there. That's something that's pretty big across the world. But still reaching the semifinal stages. So probably come back to you the next week with an update on the result of that. But outside of that, nothing else from me. Um, just want to thank you guys for coming on to the stream as usual, having a fun time, making some bold and crazy takes. And
Yep. Real.
thanks.
Real recognize real.
And thanks for the people in the chat for coming on as well, sharing their views. Looking forward to see you on the next stream. Yes, league finals coming up.
Oh,
I think that's probably
sorry.
next week. Probably next week. So yeah, we can do a little coverage, just a little small section on that next week. So as Morals, if you want to come on and have a little chat about it, always welcome, of course. So we just keep you posted. So that's it from the Hastro Bros. We signing up for the night, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.